rye, rice, mustard, coffee. 4 new crops here on Riverbird, 2 new to console. Let's take a look at all the precision farming data. Welcome back, everybody. Driver53 here, and I've got another precision farming video for us. And this one is going to be over the 4 new crops that are on Riverbird. This one's going to be very specific to Riverbird only. And this is a map that's available to consoles and everybody else. But I just really wanted to focus on these crops because 2 of them console has never been able to use before. And that's mustard and coffee. But we're going to start with rye. And what we're doing is I put down a single strip, and I've got all 4 soil types on these 2 fields. You can see the other ones back over there. What we're going to do is take a look really quickly at what the current nitrogen level is. And the way I got that is I just fertilized after I seeded. I had 0 nitrogen in the ground. Well, let me take you to the map. So as you can see right here, these are the different fields that we have, 2 and 4 here on Riverbird. And then you can see 4 different strips on each one. And if I come over to precision farming, you can see that I have loam, sandy loam, silty clay, and loamy sand, all 4 of them. And we're going to start over here on the lower side first, and we're going to take a look at the nitrogen, then we'll switch over to the better ones and take a look over there. And the way that these are lined up, let me come back over here and show you this. The one closest to the outside is actually going to be rye, and then we're going to switch over and it's going to be rice. Your third one is going to be mustard, and the last one to the inside is going to be coffee. All right, so rye, rice, mustard, coffee, kind of like backwards alphabetical. So let's take a look here at, well, the first thing I want to show you is over here, I did not plow. All right, so we're not going to be looking at the total yield or anything like that. We're only going to be looking at the starting nitrogen and the ending nitrogen. So also here, the pH, it's not optimized. I didn't throw down that either because I was only worried about the nitrogen. So if we look at the nitrogen levels, you guys can see that most of the field is at 0, absolute 0. All right, so let's start coming down through here and start turning these off. It looks like we've got 100. All right, so that's really interesting. If we look at 100 kilograms per hectare, that's going to be on, it looks like the first crop right here on, well, if I come back up here, on loamy sand. So loamy sand is going to be 100 points of nitrogen for this crop that's all the way on the outside, which is rye. That's really cool. So next is going to be 120, and we should start seeing a lot more. Yeah. So it looks like your 100 is also going to be for silty clay on rye, and then you start kicking into your rice and the coffee at 120 in loamy sand. So really interesting. Some low values, but it's not unheard of in loamy sand. So 140 now starts really taking a lot more. So loamy sand, you're finally getting everything at 140. So now this is going to be your mustard that is going to be taken care of there in the loamy sand. And then it also looks like your rice and your coffee are going to be in silty clay at 140. So at 160 is going to be the last. All right, and that's silty clay, and that's going to be mustard. So really cool. The highest you're going to have, it looks like, is going to be 160. And then you're jumping down to, and that's going to be for mustard. So it looks like coffee is going to be 120 on loamy sand, and 140 on silty clay. All right. Mustard is going to be 140 in loamy sand and 160 in silty clay. And then it looks like your rice is going to be 120 in loamy sand and 140 in silty clay. And then we get down to rye, and rye is going to be 100 in loamy sand and 120 in silty clay. So really, really cool. So let's go ahead and start getting back up here now. So this, if we look at the soil, the way it works, it's going to be sandy loam, which we know is 100%, and then loam at 125. That's your expected yields. All right, so it looks like your rye is going to be 140 in loamy sand, right? Sandy loam, sorry. Sandy loam is going to be at 140, and then 160 in loam. So 140 and 160 on your rye. That's not bad. It doesn't follow wheat at all. It's 40 points under wheat. Wheat goes all the way up to 200. So that's really, really interesting there that it's not following that at all. So next, we're going to have the rice. Rice is going to be 160 in sandy loam and 180 in your loam. Next to that is going to be your mustard, and mustard is going to take 180 in sandy loam and 200 in the loam. So that's going to follow wheat really, really well. And then if we come back to here, your coffee is going to be 160 in sandy loam and 180 in loam. So that's really, really interesting that these crops do not follow wheat except for mustard maybe. So now what we're going to do is we are going to come back and see how much residual is left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into the harvester here, and we're going to harvest each one of these. So let me do this off screen, and then we'll come back and take a look at what all of these totals are. All right, everybody, we got everything completely harvested. Didn't take too long, but got some really, really interesting results. And once again, we were not looking at the amount of yield percentage that we were getting at all. We were only going to be looking at nitrogen. So we talked about before what all the nitrogen requirements are for each soil type and each crop. Let's go ahead and take a look at how much is left in the ground, because we know that's an important part of precision farming also, right? You leave a little bit behind, and then you don't have to spend as much the next time around. So let's jump over to the map here. So these are our soil types once again. We're going to start over here on the loamy sand and the silty clay. And if we come across here to nitrogen, you can see there's not a whole lot there. And if we come down here and we take care of the 0, and we take care of the 20, and then we take care of the 40, everything goes away at 40. So loamy sand and silty clay, for all 4 of these crops, you're going to have 40 points of nitrogen left in the ground. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now let's come over here to sandy loam and loam. All right, here's the fun one. Are we ready? 40 points we know doesn't do anything. 60 does. So everything is at 60. So on these two, I mean, it's awesome. So awesome. You know, on a lot of these crops, we knew they were only going to go up to 160, 140 on some of them. I mean, that's really, really cool. You are like almost halfway there on your nitrogen if you were to replant one of these, right? So really, really cool results here. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. I don't really think there's anything else we want to talk about with precision farming, at least on the nitrogen side of things. We all know how pH works, and you know, crop yields, we might be able to look at that a little bit later. So yeah, be on the lookout for another video that could be coming out in a few days. We might go and touch on each one of these just a little bit more in detail about the yield and the profit for each crop. I'd have to go in and figure out prices and everything like that, but I think if nothing else, we can at least look at yield per acre or something like that. So maybe that might be coming. I don't know. It's interesting. Definitely for coffee. Definitely for mustard. So that's gonna be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video or learned something today, go and give me a thumbs up if you would. If you want to be kept up to date on all my latest precision farming videos, think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. Have a great day, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver 53, signing off.